Today on the Topping Show, My Pillow smushes and loses $100 million in sales, forcing them to sell off some of the equipment. Ben and Jerry slams the Supreme Court's ruling on affirmative action. Ted Cruz calls for the IRS to be abolished. Threads is up while Twitter is down. Chocolate cost is continuing to skyrocket, but people keep eating the darn stuff. Electric vehicles are sitting on lots and collecting dust. And a Native American tribe calls out Ben and Jerry's hypocrisy and asks for their land back. All of that and much, much more on the Topping Show. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode's Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, see their founder release twice today. Guys say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner and need a little assistance, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Now, going out to the business part of the podcast, you have Threads exponentially up while Twitter is down. Threads is Facebook's ripoff, copy-paste, idea, which is exactly the same as Twitter. So they have it as a sub-app under the Facebook, which is actually known as Meta, but it's actually under their Instagram app. So it's an app within an app within an app. It's an interesting idea. Now, because it's not a standalone app, it's an app within an app within an app, it takes very little effort to actually sign up, apparently. All you have to do is click away your rights so that they literally know your health, your credit score, all your contacts, what contacts as usual, but it's even more invasive than usual. It's just saying something for an app these days. But because Facebook has a large incumbent base and all the Instagram users are already on it, all they had to do is check one extra box signing their privacy away. They got 100 million users in 1 week. 100 million subscribers, users, whatever you want to call it. That's an exponential growth rate. Although, it'd be interesting to know what's the percentage of people who are actually signing up for it who are not already on Facebook and already on the default, or rather another one of their ideas, which is Instagram. Maybe 1%, 2%. I wouldn't venture to say it's much, but it seems to be they're adding applications or they're adding to their current clients. They're not expanding and getting new clients to the platform. That's what I'm guessing thus far. Now, in terms of the Twitter traffic going down, a third-party analysis showed that Twitter traffic would decrease 5% last Thursday and Friday compared to the previous week, and it's actually 11% lower compared to the same week the last year. So it looks like Twitter seems to be going down a little bit, and in terms of the idea of Facebook and Threads and how it's going to be different, you have a Meta executive by the name of Adam Mosseri, and he claims that Threads will not promote politics or hard news, which, of course, is a lie you should not be surprised about. It's almost like the status quo for Facebook is a lie. That's why half the comments are censored on all the things you find on Facebook. And the most amusing comments I would always argue are the ones that are censored. You have to click to unhide, or they just delete them completely. Now, they say they're not going to push politics or hard news, which I find hilariously that within like 2 days of starting the platform, they already broke that promise or that idea. Because one of the number one recommended, I don't know what you call them, thread creators, a seamstress. They should call their users seamstress or whatever, a sewing person. That'd be a funny, they should be more creative like that. I'm not saying they get an F for marketing, but it could have been better. Now, if they say they're not going to promote politics, why is one of the top people that is forced down your throat on the Threads platform is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also known as the Democratic Socialist, self-proclaimed AOC. She is a current politician. I know some people might say, it's way far up northeast. It's not really part of America. It technically is. Calm down. Kind of. But it's one of those things where she is extremely vocal and she's a very well-known politician. I follow her partially on the Twitter just because I find her responses very amusing, although intellect is sometimes not in her vocabulary. But you always want to see what are the other people thinking about, what are their ideals, and it's always fun to debate them. Or rather, they're too scared. They usually abdicate from debates altogether. More accurately, talk to most friends, family, colleagues, and ask, what are your thoughts on this? But I digress. Now, she's extremely vocal on her political views. She's a politician, it makes sense. But I've noticed a lot of my friends who have signed up for Threads, they've noted that she's on all of their newsfeed, and they didn't ask to follow her. or so her, whatever they call it on the app in terms of your vernacular for following someone. And we'll see. Now, in terms of the user rate going down on Threads, I don't think a lot of people are going to delete their profile, because we did confirm, because it's an app within an app within an app within an app, if you delete your Threads, you also delete your Instagram, which many people are addicted completely to that little picture platform. Which, when it comes to social trends and clothing and stuff, I usually like to wait 6 to 10 years before I really evaluate it to see if it's really good. And that's why I got it on Twitter about a year ago, partially because Elon bought it and you don't get censored every 28 seconds. But it is interesting to see you can't really delete the Threads app because you would be nuking 2 of your apps. Which, from a business perspective, is smart on Facebook, because they know people are addicted to Instagram. They're not going to get rid of the other one. So a smart business move on their part. It'll be interesting to see how many of these users are bots potentially. It would be fascinating to have a third-party assessment, look at both Twitter and Facebook and Meta and Threads and Instagram. What is the actual percentage of active monthly users that are not bots? And the bots are getting better and better trained, or programmed in this case. Will it get to the point where it's indistinguishable from human interaction? Time shall tell, but it's something to be concerned about. It'd be interesting to see across all the platforms what's the ratio or the percentage of real versus fake. We'll see. But for now, it looks like Threads is growing like a weed. Or a tumor, depending on what your belief is. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Don't forget, we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of July, so I greatly appreciate you clicking that button. Also, don't forget to take the time to comment, like. All the feedback is greatly appreciated to try to make the channel and the show better and better. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.